Coach. Dan D'Antonio will start with an opening statement.
I appreciate you not giving our record out this time. You're ruining your job. Well, you can see what it was. We came out flat early, and that was our juniors. A little disappointed in how they came out and competed. They had 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in a row. We didn't seem to be able to hit shots and make the big plays. That put us in a scramble mode. Then Iron gets in foul trouble. And Gorin, a little bit slow and inexperienced to play that little guard and pick and roll and what they did. And we'll get on that and look at it and make sure we see if we can't shore that up. Try to look at the positive. I'll tell you, when I'm over there, we'll know the feeling I had. I thought I was back to year one, where I'm sitting over going, I hadn't seen things like that happen ever in a basketball game. But that's a young team. You forget about John and CJ and the discipline they had in their ball game, and these kids haven't yet got that. They haven't found it yet. We're going to get a little bit better, I think, with Andy Taylor. Don't want to put too much on him. He hadn't played in a year and a half, but I think we need another ball handler out there that plays more like a point guard. I think he'll give that to us. So all in all, it's a long season. And, things can flip pretty good. We're still, again, to play that bad offensively, we usually get beat in the last 3 or 4 years. We get beat 30 points. But this team has got some things that they can make and do. They're long and they can play defense decently. They don't, they shot 46 from the field, which is not bad for a good shooting ball club. So, again, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. Great crowd. Appreciate them coming. I hope that they will stay with this young team and they give us the support we need. It's easy to support when you don't need it. And we need you now to stay with us and let this team grow with y'all pushing them forward.
What did Jackson do the most? I know that Jared's an experienced defender, but it seemed like
well, he got picked off by the pick and roll.
Yeah.
And then we were playing a zone back and letting him come into them, but then they have a real good pop guy. And we didn't do a good job on their, it's a kind of a high-low type of situation where it's roll and replace. When the guy comes back out on the backside, George helps down the inside, or our forward helps down inside, then they throw it to the outside and he shoots a 3 and makes it. Then you hurry down there and you hurry back up there and then they stay on there. Same thing we've been doing for years. Same thing we do. And it's difficult to guard if you got guys that know how to pull it off. But we got to get into that little guy a little bit better. And Iron does a pretty good job of knowing kind of when to fade back, get his hands on Gorin. Really struggles with that. He doesn't know yet, but he's capable. We'll see if we can't make him a little bit better after this game.
What happened with Jansen?
Sick. That's all I heard. He was throwing up in the locker room.
Coach, you opened the year with a big win, and since then 1-5. Where are you starting to notice some of the struggles in this stretch?
As soon as I look at the roster of the other team, we're playing Notre Dame, who's supposed to be upper half ACC, with a young team now, with a brand new team basically. Florida, ranked 6th at the beginning of the year. Toledo, supposed to win the MAC. Who else is in there?
College Charles.
Oh, College Charles is supposed to win the Columbia. That's what happens when you get it. We're in a cycle. We're in our replenishing cycle, and they're in their ending part of the cycle, and that happens. Maybe it's a lot of coaches wouldn't do it as I would do it. In that, I think it's going to make us better, and we're going to be stronger at the end of the year. A lot of coaches will look and say we got to do it by wins and confidence. Whichever way you want to look at it. But you can schedule. I could have scheduled 6 wins. It's been easy. We don't play Notre Dame. We don't play Florida. We go out and find. I won't name names because then I'm throwing off on them. I can find 4 more teams that we could beat. We could be looking at a 6-1 or whatever schedule. But I don't do that. I want to play the best teams. These kids are going to learn. Don't panic. It's not the end of the world. And I think we'll get better and grow from it.
Given how well you all played against Florida for all of about 8 minutes, was the flatness especially frustrating simply because you were coming off a little bit of a high?
Could be. I don't know. You got a young team. I'm sitting over on the sideline trying to get a grasp of where to go and a rhythm. We don't have one. They're jumping all over the place. I don't know where Cam's going to run to. I got no feel. George should, but I don't. He's out. His body's going in every different direction I've never seen. And, you're sitting out there going, geez, what do you do? But we started grinding it down a little bit. We can get into iron some. I got to find which ways to get him the ball. One time he got a little bit too far out and he didn't look real good. So we're going to have to, limit that so that when he catches out there, he's passing and then getting a deeper seal. I thought Tavion's got to learn to quit trying to always get all the way to the basket and to pull up and he's shooting a little jumper in practice and he does it pretty well. But he doesn't trust it enough yet. We got to get him doing that. Jared's got to stay tough for us and just grind things out. Cam Harris, I thought, he only had one turnover. How many turnovers did he have? He had one turnover. That's a big deal. 3 assists to 1. That's huge. He had 2 blocks. I thought he played well. He's 5 of 6, 1 of 2 from threes. Good numbers. If you look at our offensive numbers, they got better. 46% from the floor, almost 30 or 29.4 from threes, 75% from free throw line. That's better. We're getting better in that regard. We still haven't made the big points. I thought had a couple of times where we got down to 12 and we end up having maybe 2 shots and getting it below 10 and then they go down and hit a 3. But, I thought Jeremy Dillon gave me good minutes. And I was sometimes when you get out there and you see him every day in practice, and you don't see the good side. You're always worried about what you don't like. And what I saw tonight, he gave us good minutes. Aaron, like I said, is going to grow. And, Jared's always going to be tough. He's a tough little competitor. So, down the road, I looked out there, and I think we had one time when Jared was on the bench, we had 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen. And that's tough to play a team that's graduate, transfer, graduate, transfer, redshirt junior, and 3 seniors. That's tough. And make an old man out of me, I don't give up very easily, so, and I don't think our kids will either. And we've got to work on getting a rhythm for our offense and define what we can do and where we can score from. And it's going to take a little time. And John's had the ball in his hands for the last 4 years, and it was all created from him. And now we're having to do it a different way. So that's new for Jared, new for Jansen, new for Michael Byers, new for Aaron. The freshmen don't know, but the rest of them is all brand new.
How difficult has the process been for Aaron? Not just to get his weight down, but it still seems like because of his size that some calls can't go against him, and more so probably than anybody
else. The last
else.
call was a tough call. I'm not saying it's right or wrong because I don't want to get fined or have people call me, but I thought it was a tough call. I thought he blocked it, and but he's big. He's going to get those. He can't get the silly ones. He has a technical foul on him. That's just not being smart. And that's growth too. So he's only played about a half a year.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's a 1 year veteran. He's about a half a year veteran, never started. And now all of a sudden he's a focus. And that's a big jump. And but I like what I see. I know this, when he does things the way he can and does it right, you can't stop him. He's unstoppable. So all we got to do is find multiple places to get that done for him. And that's going to take a little feel by me and a feel from our guards. Our guards have got to learn how to find him and set him up. And, maybe adding another ball handler out there with Andy that might, just takes 3 or 4 and then all of a sudden things flip on the other side. Defenses get nervous. They start doing crazy things like we got nervous. And then it gets easy. So we'll see.
In the case of an iron dunk, is there any way that you can teach a player to get a feel for the officiating of a game, especially in this scenario?
You know, again, there are a lot of solutions that you can write on the paper. And there's a lot, and I go back because I think it's a perfect example. If you got a kid that can't walk and you're holding him up, it don't matter whether you hold him up with the left hand, with the right hand. If he's not ready to walk yet, you can have somebody else come and hold his hands up. He's gonna fall because he's not ready. He's not ready. You can't go and say, well, if we change the offense here, we do this. And I know all the coaching geniuses that are out there got a better way, and it's easy from there, and it's so much difficult when you sit where I am, and it just happens. I've been around this game for a long time. We had a Sockasty high school team went 3-21. I think it was close to that. 3-21, my worst year ever. And the next year, same starting five, came back, it was 26-2. They weren't ready. They were freshmen, and they were trying to play seniors, and they couldn't do it. They just can't do it. So, it's a game. I think we represent Marshall well. It's still a fun game to watch. You still see some great plays, and we're trying to make more and more and have our fan base come out here and support us. And let's enjoy the year and Christmas as it comes up. I'm looking forward to it. I'm tree decorated. I'm ready to roll.
Good.
Is it? Way to call.